All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Trading Bitcoin. I'm your host, Tone Vays. And we are live. So let's go to the charts. I am back in Panama. I'll be here for a little while and then off to Miami. Finally back in the US. I haven't been to the US since August. It's the last time I set foot in the United States, and I guess the holidays are coming. I'll come to the US and then I'll head back down to Latin America, which is pretty much where I am living these days. Okay, so the monthly chart, we're usually looking at it in this form, and it's still not looking very good because we are stuck at 17,000 and nothing is rising yet. So we continue to consolidate and frustrate the majority of the people, which is one of the ways in which markets bottom. Okay, next. We're pulling back a little bit today. We are back below 17,000 by a few bucks at the moment. So there's still plenty of time to buy the low. On a weekly scale, it looks like we are still in the middle of a dead cat bounce to the area of the breakdown at 18, let's say 19,000. Once we get to 19,000, that's going to be the make or break area for Bitcoin. So Bitcoin really needs to break above 19,000 and go above its prior swing high at 21,000 in order to turn the weekly chart bullish. The weekly chart has not been bullish since it broke its prior swing high back here, back in August. Well, back in October, when the weekly chart broke a clear prior swing high. This one is a little bit trickier. Yeah, it might have been a little bit bullish over here by breaking its prior swing high. I would have been leaning slightly bullish, but we broke it by such little amount and we were sitting right at resistance. And even though we broke resistance for half a week, it was still on the border and it turned. But right here, we had hope of bullishness because we technically broke a prior swing high. But the prior swing high was very short. It only took 2 weeks to get to a new swing high, and that itself wasn't even a swing high. This kind of broke it. But you don't see that situation happening ever again. Every time it rallies, it never rallies to a prior swing high. This one didn't rally to this one, and one last month didn't rally past the one in September. The one in September didn't rally past the one in August. The one in August, well, we haven't had a rally at all from March all the way down to June. So we need a new swing high. Until we get a new swing high, the weekly chart cannot possibly be bullish. Allocation chart is going to have to wait. We have not had the moving averages cross over, and if we start pulling back next week into Christmas, then the moving averages won't cross over. So we have to wait and see in our small little bullish position, looking to add to it too. All right, hey Brian, thanks for doing the moderation. Tony, you said months ago Bitcoin will never go below 10,000, so that's clearly a lie. I never use the word never, except right now where I said I never use the word never. Bitcoin can go to 3 cents. There is nothing stopping Bitcoin from going to 3 cents. It's impossible for me to say Bitcoin will never go below 10,000 because it's just it's a lie. Anyone that says Bitcoin will go below 10,000 is lying because no one knows where Bitcoin is going to go. Bitcoin can go to 3 cents, and I will have to find a new job. So there it is. No, I don't stand by that statement. Bitcoin can go to 3 cents. I don't think it's going to go lower than 3 cents. I think that's my actual floor. In reality, I personally don't expect Bitcoin to go below 10,000. If it does, I expect it to stay there for 10 minutes. And I'm 99.9% confident I will not be able to buy it at that price, because either exchanges will be down or I will not be sitting there with my finger on the mouse. So is it possible for Bitcoin to flash crash to 9,000, 8, 6, 2,000? Yes, it's possible. But there will be people lucky enough to buy it at those prices so quickly that it will rebound very, very fast, just like what happened with COVID. Doing the opposite of what Kramer says is usually a very good trading strategy. Like I said, it's possible that Bitcoin has already bottomed, but I don't like the consolidation at the low. So I am very concerned about the possibility of it dropping one more leg to that $13,000 zone. You can see from the weekly triangle where the target is. The target of the weekly triangle is 11,500, even if we do pull back to the bottom of the triangle. We can go all the way back to 2015, where I wrote articles about this stuff. I don't know if it'll be on this chart. Probably not going to be on this chart. That's way too far right here. There was a descending triangle over here, and it broke, and then we came back and back tested the bottom of the triangle, and then we fell lower. Yeah, you really want to consolidate. You really want to try to pick up some Bitcoin right now. You want to be a whole coiner. You really want to have at least one Bitcoin. And if you can afford one Bitcoin, you can probably afford 2 Bitcoin. So you want to be a 2x Bitcoin. Daily chart is not interesting at all. There's nothing really interesting in the charts because we're consolidating. GBTC discount continues to go down. We are now at 43% on the GBTC discount this morning. Oil, I continue to believe that oil will rise in the very near future. Gold is not interesting. The stock market is getting rejected by this trend line. That is unfortunate. I would love to see us establish a higher low, somewhere in the 3,875 range, and then rally past this trend line. Here's our correlation chart. Not very correlated right now. Technically, we can draw a bullish trend line in the stocks. And we have not yet crossed this trend line. So that's a good sign. Let's see if we can hold this trend line on the daily scale and then bounce off of it and break the downward trend line from the weekly scale. Well, consolidation mid-range, it depends on where it comes from. Guys, it's about where the consolidation is coming from. I don't know if I have this picture on my Learn Trading. Yeah, I don't have it. Damn. Shoot, I have another picture, but it's not on this. I need to find it somewhere. I'm not sure where it is. But consolidations at the bottom are bearish. Consolidations at the top are bullish. Consolidations in the middle, it depends where they come from. Right? If you're coming in from the low, if you're coming in from a low and you went up and then you consolidate, that's bullish. But if you're coming in from a high, right here, and you go down and you then consolidate, that's bearish. So we're still waiting for our national nightmare to be over of finding the last senator and the last House of Representatives. So the Colorado, I mean, the people in Colorado don't know how to count. I mean, are they smoking that much weed that they can't count? Just call the election already. Jesus. So, because I want to close this freaking tab. And the Georgia Senate should have the runoff this week. I think it's tomorrow. Wait, is it over? Where's Georgia? There it is. Did it start? Today is the 6th, right? Yay! Okay, let's see if they can count these votes sometime this year. All right, the election has begun. If you're in Georgia, go to the polls and vote. Warnock is winning. Oh, that's unfortunate. Warnock, yeah. Look, like I said, I'd vote for Herschel Walker. I know he's got family issues, but I'd still prefer Walker over a socialist. So. Yeah, Brazil, I don't know what's going on in Brazil. They may have a military coup on their hands. Do you have any comment about the 65 trillion missing? Only 65 trillion? That's my only comment. Eventually, the fiat Ponzi will blow up. So you want to have as much Bitcoin as you can. Amy, go vote. You're in Georgia. There's a meeting on the 14th, the Fed meeting. Looks like they're going to be raising rates only 50 basis points, and that should be somewhat bullish for the market. Economic news this morning. Today is Tuesday, so only trade balance. Nothing interesting. Tomorrow, the oil inventories. It's not a big month. It's not a big week for news. All right, I got nothing else for you guys. You can glance at your live chat, see if there's any questions. I've been to Savannah, Georgia. It is nice. Hey, thanks, Brian. I'm looking at your chat. Back to the mustard oil discussion. I need to look more into it. Like I said, I've never heard of mustard oil. I think Fed is happy that the market is not crashing anymore, so that they can kind of do whatever they like. The Dow breaking the 200 moving average, it's bullish. I think the stock markets are bullish. The S&P has to break its resistance. One last hurdle, the last hurdle for the S&P, and then we can go to new highs. I commented on a stock to flow model the other day. I was never a fan of the stock to flow model. I like stock to flow. I don't like the model. I don't believe you can model the price of Bitcoin based on stock to flow. I've always said this. This is why Plan B doesn't like me. And Saifedean was very, very critical when I said this on his podcast. I don't believe you can model stock to flow. There, I said it. And the model broke down as I expected the model to break down. I like the concept. That's not how you do models, but I like the concept. Bitfarms. Yes. Bitfarms is down to 53 cents. Feel bad for the company, but this I think I don't want to overweight. I may have to make a decision next week. We're on a daily MRI buy. I would love to wait for a weekly MRI buy, but then it's Christmas time. So ideally, I would love to wait until like the first week of January and just enter the trade for next year. So if I'm lucky, this stock is below 50 cents, and then I can really do some interesting stuff with it. Though I'm still looking at the options of how to profit from this big time if it goes up, and at almost no starting cost. Options allow you to do that. If you're curious about what you can do with options, you really want to check out my options course. It is still on sale. Products and services, on-demand videos. I dropped the price of the options course to $1,500. It's going back to 2000, guys. I don't know when, whenever I feel like it, but it's going back to 2000. Also, check out, it's only $500 for technical analysis and risk management. By the way, you better be an expert at both of these things before you try to tackle options. Trust me. And then the MRI is still on a reduced price of $400. So if you go to the price right there, 400 for the MRI. I'm still thinking all-time high next year for Bitcoin. Shavish, if you can afford the options course and you trade, you really want to do that options course. You really want to do it. It is excellent. Like I've had professional options traders look at that course and they loved it. All right, guys, throw a few more questions. Otherwise, I'm gonna I'm gonna head off. Also, anyone that comes to the financial summit gets the options class along with all my other resources. You get everything. So think about the financial summit. It's 1 year away. This was us in that castle was in the Dominican Republic. Super cool. This is also Dominican Republic. Yep, well, that is Dominican Republic. There's some shots from Dubai. No, the beach is definitely Dominican Republic. That's from Dubai. That's also from Dubai. That's from Dubai. That's Dominican Republic. That's Dubai. That castle was so awesome. All right, guys. Do we know if Elon bought stock in? I have no idea. No idea. Do you think we will have other exchanges having issues or banks being defaced? Yes, of course. Apart from having, I mean, is there anything else that can take Bitcoin to new? Yeah, I mean, like eventually there will be enough Bitcoin in cold storage. There's not enough Bitcoin to go around, guys. Bitcoin is absolutely critical to the human race. Yeah, it's a great idea to DCA right now. I need a close. I need a close above. I need both. I need a wick to be higher than a prior wick and a close to be higher than a prior close. Ideally, I want to close higher than the prior wick. All right, guys. I might join Spaces, the Swan Spaces. I haven't been there in a while. It started 10 minutes ago. Thank you all for watching, guys, and I will see you all on the next one. Bye, guys.